He was nearly loaned out. Ignored. Underused. Underrated by Ruben Amorim. But now, Kobbie Mainoo is undroppable. After just 4 starts under Michael Carrick, the young midfielder has become a key figure in Manchester United's stunning resurgence. From dominating midfields to outpassing entire teams, Mainoo's performances are turning heads, silencing critics, and proving just how costly Amorim's oversight really was. In today's video, we're diving deep into how Carrick unlocked Mainoo's true potential, what made his performance versus Tottenham historically good, and why this could go down as one of the worst judgment calls of Amorim's short-lived reign. Comment below. Is Mainoo already England's most complete young midfielder? Like this video if you think Carrick is building something special. Subscribe for more United deep dives and football insider content. Let's kick it off with Chapter 1. When Ruben Amorim took over at Manchester United, fans were promised bold ideas, tactical intensity, and a fresh era. But what followed instead was frustration, inconsistency, and, perhaps most painful of all, a glaring lack of faith in emerging talent. Enter Kobbie Mainoo. A highly rated academy product, Mainoo had caught attention for his smooth movement, calm under pressure, and natural ability to link defense with attack. But rather than nurture him, Amorim overlooked him. Game after game, the midfield trio was rotated: Casemiro, Ugarte, Eriksen, but Mainoo? Seemingly invisible to the setup. It wasn't a matter of poor performance. Sources from Carrington at the time cited that Mainoo was consistently impressing in training, showing advanced positional sense and better pressing decisions than some of his established peers. But he just couldn't break into the matchday squad. Amorim's focus on physical midfielders with defensive tendencies left players like Mainoo and Hannibal sidelined, isolated from the very development track they needed. And then came Michael Carrick. The former midfield maestro and fan favourite was appointed as interim head coach. A move that seemed temporary suddenly sparked a footballing revival. In Carrick's very first match, he shocked many by starting Mainoo alongside Casemiro, a decision that wasn't just about rotation but trust. And from that moment, the dynamic of United's midfield completely changed. Mainoo wasn't just playing safe short passes or hiding behind lines. He was dictating tempo, penetrating through lines, and offering control wherever it was needed. Carrick's system gave him freedom, not to roam wildly, but with purpose. He would press selectively, drop deeper when Casemiro pushed forward, and run into space when attacking lines opened up. Most notably, Bruno Fernandes, who had looked off balance for much of the earlier season, suddenly came alive again when Mainoo anchored the midfield. The triangle of Fernandes, Mainoo, and Casemiro proved balanced, functional, and, crucially, winning. In just 4 starts together, United racked up 4 straight wins, including dominant performances against Manchester City, Arsenal, Fulham, and Tottenham Hotspur. And in that Spurs game, Mainoo made history. 33 completed passes in the final third. The most of any player in the entire Premier League that weekend. For reference, that's more than Kevin De Bruyne averages on his busy days. This wasn't just stats padding, these were line-breaking passes, finding runners, switching play, releasing full-backs, and creating real problems for Tottenham's defensive block. A player who was nearly loaned out is now putting up elite creative midfield numbers at just 20 years old. Carrick has done what Amorim couldn't. See the diamond hiding in the rough. But how exactly did Mainoo's intelligence and athleticism unlock the entire Carrick system? And how deep did Amorim's midfield misjudgment run? Let's cover that in Chapter 2. To understand why Kobbie Mainoo has exploded under Carrick, you have to look at more than just on-ball quality. You have to look at mental composure, tactical awareness, and the ability to read game phases like a veteran. Carrick played with legends like Scholes, and Pete Carrick himself was an elite tempo setter. So it's no wonder that when he looked at Mainoo, he didn't see a youth product. He saw a system-ready controller. What Carrick changed was not just giving Mainoo time, he gave him structure. Instead of overburdening him with sweeping responsibilities, Carrick designed the double pivot to allow Mainoo to play 2 to 3 touch football in build-up, stretch play with diagonals, and maintain vertical spacing so he wouldn't constantly get overwhelmed. Paired with Casemiro, Mainoo has the physical backup he needs. And next to Bruno, he has a telecom link for transitions. His positioning has leapfrogged aging mid-options like Eriksen, while his short passing combinations have become critical in releasing flipped wingbacks like Dalot and Shaw. All of this was missing under Amorim. Ruben Amorim's system demanded structured destroyers, think Ugarte, who struggled to find fluidity in the Premier League. Amorim seemed to obsess over rigid midfield roles, failing to account for the Premier League's transition-heavy nature. That's where Mainoo thrives. He doesn't need 10 seconds to assess the pitch. His eyes are up, feet are calm, and his spatial intelligence lets him attack gaps instantly. Carrick's trust helped, but this was always in Mainoo's DNA. Amorim simply never gave him the chance to show it. Fans are noticing too. On social media, United supporters are calling Mainoo the future of England's midfield, and comparisons to legends like Carrick and Paul Scholes are already appearing, careful though they may be. But what's undeniable is this: Mainoo is already outperforming expectations, and his trajectory only goes up from here. From being almost offloaded to now outpassing entire midfields, this is not just a turnaround story. It's a cautionary tale. Managers must adapt or miss out on game changers. Mainoo was one misstep away from joining countless other names that showed glimpses for other clubs when they could have risen at United. Amorim didn't see it. Carrick did. And United, finally, are reaping the rewards. And as this young baller continues to dominate the midfield, you can bet he's playing not just to win games, but to prove a point. He was always ready. They just didn't believe it. So here's your takeaway, Reds. Kobbie Mainoo is no longer just a prospect, he's a Premier League star in the making. Dominating midfields, breaking records at 20, leading United to big wins under Carrick, and proving Ruben Amorim's judgment wrong with every performance. Now we want to hear from you. Should Mainoo become a permanent starter even when everyone's fit? Is he already United's most important midfielder? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Hit like if you're proud of Mainoo's development. Subscribe and ring that bell for complete Man United coverage, analysis, and match previews. This is your channel name, where United fans stay passionate, informed, and always one step ahead. Glory, glory Man United.